What's up guys? A lot of people have been asking me about my controller sensitivity, so I'm going to show you exactly what I use and some hidden tricks that you may have not known. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more, and comment down below what sense you use. Alright, so if you go through input, we're on the controller section here. I do have a controller auto run on, but I don't typically use it. All you got to do is click your double stick to sprint, and then you just auto run. It might be good if you take a sip of something, if you take a drink, if you need to go look at something, text somebody, you could auto run to the next zone. It could be helpful if you need it. Me personally, I mainly play zero build. When I do have build on, obviously I have Builder Pro. Builder Pro is going to be your best option. These are my edit times, slide times. I have pitch, you got reset camera time, all the way down. For vibration, you need to have the setting off. In my personal opinion, it helps my aim get a lot better when my controller is not shaking. It might be a mental thing, but for me personally, when my controller is not vibrating, I can actually focus on eliminating my next opponent. Now we're going to scroll down to quick weapon. I don't personally use quick weapon. This is a new feature that's been unveiled a bit ago, and it's something that I don't personally use. You may be able to find use of it because it goes from one slot to another. So say you have heals on your 4th slot, but your AR is on your 1st slot. If you need to heal, you have a quick weapon option, which could potentially take you to your heals so you can heal faster. Or you can have it mapped to your shotgun so you can quickly move to your shotgun. I personally haven't gotten used to this, but with my inventory management and how I have my guns, I'm personally okay with not having quick weapon on. And this is also one of the options that puts you towards keyboard and mouse management, because with the click of a button, you can go from one gun to another gun, or heal, or utility, whatever you need. Now here's the secret sauce: sensitivity. You see how it says 1-1? If you click on it, you can't do anything with it. Now, if you scroll down to use advanced options and click this off, hit apply, go up here, and now you can switch it. So whatever you're at, for me personally, I found a lot more control when I switched it to 1-1. 1-1 will give you that certain control that will help you have not only better ADS, but more control when you're shooting somebody right in front of you. And then if I'm ever building, I have my build mode sensitivity multiplier for 2.3, edit mode 2.2. One thing that's also very important, well, let me switch on my advanced options real quick. So advanced look sensitivity, I use 42% and 42%. If you look around at a lot of pros who use controller, they typically use 43. That's pretty much the standard. So anywhere around there that you want to choose, 42 is my personal baseline, and it's what I got used to. And if you feel like you need to up your sense, if you feel like you're okay to do that, make sure it's always in 1% increments. You don't want to drastically change your sense, because then you're just going to be lost. So stick to something, get used to it, and make small adjustments accordingly. Me personally, I leave all boosts off and leave it all based on these sense here and the ADS, which you're about to see. So I have my boost off here as well. Now ADS is pretty important too, because when you're zooming in, you want to be able to beam somebody. So 9% for me gives me the correct amount of sensitivity for me to lock onto somebody when I'm aiming in. And then I have all my boosts off again. If you need to change any of these, make sure it's in 1% increments. So my look dampening time is going to be 0 seconds. And I personally use exponential. So if you remember a while ago when Legacy was a thing, Legacy, you can literally lock on to people. Aim assist has drastically changed over the years for PC, so it's not as strong as some people might think. I want to say about 80% of people use linear. The reason I use exponential is because I mainly play zero build, and for exponential, you seem to have more control when you're shooting somebody long range. Now, if you can get used to the close range battle, you pretty much have everything down and you're good to go. Linear is great for builds. Everything feels super fluent. It's a little bit more claggy, I guess, for exponential when it comes to builds, but you can still be pretty fluent with it once you get used to it all. What linear is raw stick input. So your movement is gonna move just how it is. Exponential is like a smaller stick movement to have less of an effect, which allows for more precision. That's why it's much better for long range to use exponential, but you could also get really used to linear's long range and kind of dial that down. What I recommend is maybe try them both if you're lost on which to use, or you can completely copy my settings and then curate it to your liking. One big thing to keep in mind, I do play on 240 frames on a 1440p monitor. If you guys are running less frames or maybe on a console, then your sense might have to be put at something different, but you could use these settings and then up your sense if you need to, or maybe lower it if you feel like it's too fast for you. You want to keep your aim assist strength at 100% so that people can range. And one more important thing is left stick dead zone and right stick dead zone. I like my left stick dead zone at 11% and I like my right stick dead zone at 9%. If you notice that your right stick has stick drift, and what that means is if you barely touch your right stick, right, as you can see on the right side, if you barely touch your right stick and your aim seems to drag with it, then that's stick drift. If you're not touching anything and it's moving, then you need to up your right stick dead zone until you don't have that stick drift anymore. You might think your controller's broken, but trust me on this, up it a little bit and then it should be okay. So hopefully I saved you money there. Now foot controller I have off 1% with everything. Vehicles accelerator with stick, leave it on. Tank settings off. These ones don't really matter too much. I use an Xbox Elite Series 2. That's the controller that I use. I have custom presets with a Xbox One controller platform. Jump I have for my A button. I also have paddles on the back of my controller. Now for my left, right here, this paddle right here is my jump button. Now the reason for that is you want to make sure as a controller player that you're keeping both of your thumbs on the thumbsticks, because if you take your thumb away and press the A button here instead of jumping from the back, then you might miss out on a kill. Because if you're jumping next to somebody, you want to have full control over your aim so you can dial in and lock on somebody. That's always the rule of thumb for controllers. Make sure that your right and left thumb are on your thumbsticks at all times. Now my crouch is my right stick. I use my right stick a lot. Sliding, crouching, very important. Crouching is great for being sneaky and making sure that people with visual audio effects don't see you. And you could also use it to slide, which is really important because you need to be able to slide often because it actually helps your stamina management. But try not to slide straight forward because then you might just get beamed. Try and be crafty with it. Make sure your movement is you turning into a butterfly and avoiding all these shots or sliding into cover as best as you can. So I have sprint here for my right on the D-pad, fire. I got my aim, right trigger, left trigger. Reload is my X. Right bumper, left bumper is how I switch my weapons. My pickaxe is the Y button. Here's my place marker. Now as a controller player, I love this feature. It is push to talk. And I have that mapped right here whenever I need it. So if I'm playing sub games or something and I don't want to talk over anybody in sub games, I got push to talk right there. Now push to talk is one of my favorite features because they didn't used to have this, but ever since they added it, this is great for people who play with other streamers or maybe if they're having sub games, so you're not talking over everybody. So you put on your push to talk, you have your push to talk button. All I gotta do, that's my B button where my right middle finger is. And if I hold that down, I can talk to the people in my chat, in the game chat that is. And these are the rest of everything that I use. Here's my build binds. Now, my push to talk is B right now. That's mainly because I play zero build. But if I switched over to build, then I would put B on my switch mode because that's my build button. Here's everything here. My edit, emote, miscellaneous, writing, flying, dodge right, creative, Gyro, I have never used gyro. I don't think I ever will. Respect to people who use it though. No hate. And those are my settings. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment down below your sense. I'll see you on the next one.